Welcome. In this video, will ZBCN coin new ATH come? We will analyze it. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and please watch to the end to understand. When examined on the daily time frame, a trend structure progressing within a remarkably steep upward trajectory is clearly visible on the chart. This ascending trend line has emerged as a natural result of the strong and decisive upward price movements observed recently. Steeply sloped ascending trend lines like this one, which are closely monitored by market participants, typically indicate that the price is in a strong bullish momentum and clearly reflect that buyers are still in control of the market. In such cases, each touch of the price to the trend line is considered a kind of confirmation move, often followed by strong upward bounces. The fact that this uptrend is so steep reveals how dynamic and determined the rise has been. This trend reflects that the market has developed strong resistance against downward pressure and that investors are generally operating with the expectation that prices will continue to rise. A renewed approach or touch to this strong trend line could be considered a highly positive signal from a technical analysis perspective. These types of trend lines are perceived by investors as support levels, and it is often observed that buying opportunities are evaluated when prices bounce from these levels. Looking back at the previous chart structure, it can be seen that the price has touched this trend line multiple times and then made upward moves. This historical behavior demonstrates the price's respect for this trend line and shows that investors are using it as a reference point. Each approach to this trend line seems to act as a moment for the price to gather energy before pushing higher again. A similar process is very likely to unfold now. As the price approaches this steep and strong trend line once more, it is quite possible that buyers will step in again and push the price upward. From a technical analysis perspective, such steep rising trends are interpreted as signs that the market is still very strong and that downward movements are merely temporary corrections. In particular, the presence of lower wicks on candlesticks at trendline touches or upward reversals marked by high-volume green candles indicate that buying pressure has significantly increased. The occurrence of such movements on the daily chart suggests that investor sentiment remains positive and that the price could target higher levels. Additionally, the steepness of the uptrend indicates that momentum is also high. This shows that if the price continues along this path without breaking the trend, upward targets may be reached much faster. Most investors follow the trend is your friend approach in such strong trends and tend to hold their positions as long as the trend line is not broken. This causes buying pressure to increase each time the price approaches the trend line, creating a favorable environment for the price to move upward. At present, the price approaching this steep uptrend again creates a very promising and positive structure from a technical standpoint. This approach will likely appear on the radar of many investors and be seen as a buying opportunity. Additionally, how the price behaves as it nears this trend line will also give us insight into the future direction. If the price makes an upward bounce from this point, accompanied by increased volume, it may signal the beginning of the next wave of the rally. In conclusion, the current steep and strong ascending trend line on the chart stands as a roadmap for the price. The fact that this trend remains intact without breaking and that the price reacts upward each time it touches this line clearly shows that buying pressure persists and the general bullish trend continues. But we can't base our analysis solely on trends. Let's also look at other metrics. Stay tuned. When viewed on the chart, the red horizontal resistance line that has been closely followed for a long time and carefully watched by investors represents a highly critical level that the price has tested multiple times in the past but struggled to break through. This level serves not only as a technical resistance, but also as a psychological barrier. Each time the price approached this red line, significant selling pressure emerged in the market, and this region remained unbroken for a long time. However, now the price is once again hovering very close to this area, and given the current structure, the potential to break above this strong resistance appears to be quite high. If the price breaks this red line and establishes stability above it, it would mark the beginning of a new phase in terms of technical analysis. This level being surpassed would mean that a new price level, never seen before, has been reached, which is referred to as an all-time high in technical analysis. Such movements create significant excitement among investors because reaching levels never seen before often signals the beginning of strong rallies. Making a new ATH is an important indicator that market confidence is increasing and investor interest has peaked. Breaking this level would not just mean surpassing a technical resistance, it could also open the door to new buying opportunities for many traders and investors. Many trading strategies are based on entering new positions once the price breaks its previous all-time high. These strategies are often referred to as momentum trading or breakout trading. This means that once the price moves above this red line, significant buy orders may be triggered by both retail investors and algorithmic systems, potentially causing the upward move to accelerate rapidly. In addition, holding above this red line would have a strong psychological effect on investors. Breaking through a level that has been unbreakable for a long time increases investor confidence and strengthens the perception that the trend is now clearly upward. This could lead to much larger and more heavily traded rallies. In technical analysis, this is referred to as the resistance turning into support principle. In other words, this red level that previously couldn't be broken may now act as a support level during downward moves. This not only sets the stage for further price increases, but can also limit the depth of any pullbacks. If this scenario unfolds, meaning the price breaks above the red line and sets a new AT8, it would mean entering previously untested and uncharted price territory. In technical analysis, such uncharted zones are referred to as the price discovery process. In this process, the market searches for equilibrium at levels where no previous trading has occurred. Upward movements during this stage can be much faster and more aggressive, as there are no historical resistance levels or supply zones in these areas. There are essentially no real technical barriers ahead of the price, which significantly increases its upside potential. Moreover, if this breakout occurs during a time when fundamental data is also positive, global markets are trending favorably, or there are strong developments on a sectoral basis, the breakout's sustainability becomes even stronger. This provides not only a short-term signal, but also a positive outlook for medium and long-term investors. In such situations, investors tend to expand their positions not just based on technical signals, but also on overall market sentiment, which contributes to the acceleration of the upward move. In conclusion, if the price breaks above this key red resistance line, it would not only mean a new AT8 is achieved, but also signal the crossing of a major technical and psychological threshold, paving the way for significant upside potential. A breakout at this level would strongly confirm that the trend has entered a new phase, and that the bulls have taken control of the market. Using the Bollinger Bands on the chart, the area where the price is currently located is in a very critical and promising position. In particular, the fact that the price has started to hold above the 20-day simple moving average, known as the middle line of the band, is a very valuable signal that the buyer side of the market is still strong and the appetite to buy dips continues. This zone can often serve as an important support for trend continuation, and the fact that the price has managed to hold above this average as of the current position suggests that the upside potential is still very strong. Bollinger Bands are one of the most effective technical tools that show the area of price movement relative to volatility. The fact that the price has stabilized above the average line indicates that a steady recovery trend is currently underway in the market. As this line holds, investors start to move more comfortably, which causes upward buying pressure to increase over time. It can be said very clearly that the current position is quite positive, especially considering that in the past, the price has reacted upwards in areas where this average has worked as support. This is how we need to examine the Bollinger Band. Yes, friends, I hope you liked the video. If you subscribe to my channel and like the video, more videos will be coming. Be careful in your investments, analyze the risks correctly, and always take strategic steps. I will be with you with different analyses, investment opportunities, and technical information in my videos. I wish you all a lot of profit. See you soon.